Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 scary childhood games. One of them I've already played myself, so I kind of just wanted to go over it because of my own experiences with it. The other 2 are a little too scary, so I don't recommend anyone playing it, but you know, I can't stop you from, doing what you do. So if you're interested, just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to do my makeup and speak at the same time. So let's see how this works out. So over the weekend we watched Stranger Things, and I was a little bit inspired by the 80s look, so I'm really wanting to use pink and blue today, so let's see how that works out. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this NYX Ultimate palette. It has this dark pink that I'm gonna be using. The first game that I'm going to talk about, it's the concentration game. A lot of kids have different names for this game. I don't even remember what name I had for this game, so we're just gonna go ahead and call it the concentration game. But I went ahead and played this when I was a kid, so it is a little creepy, only because it makes you actually feel like you're there. So what you do is you grab one of your friends, you face them away from you, and you tell them to close their eyes. So as they close their eyes, you stand behind them and you start telling a dark story. The story changes by whoever's telling it, so I mean, it depends on your imagination. You can go ahead and tell the story however you like. The way I used to tell it would be, I would tell the person to close their eyes and imagine they are walking down a forest, a dark forest. There's a little pathway, and at the end of the pathway, they find themselves at the edge of a cliff. So you make the story very somber. You start telling them that as they're standing, they're looking down, and you start making them feel like they're really sad. And I don't recommend this towards someone who has depression or anxiety. So if you're gonna play this game, don't do it to those people that already have sadness in them, because I feel like you might trigger something. So just be careful who you do it on if you're gonna play this game. So you make them feel like they're really sad, their dog just died or something. Just, you paint the scenario very, the point of the whole game is for you to make them really imagine that they are looking down this cliff. And when they are really into the story and you can tell that they're imagining really well, you just push them. And again, their eyes are closed, so you push them and they actually feel like they're falling down the cliff. And it spooks the person out. So I really used to like playing that game when I was a kid. Okay, so this next one I'm not really familiar with. It's called The Hooded Man. With this game, you have to actually cleanse your house, or not your house, but the area that you're gonna do the game. You have to sage the area or salt the area. And you have to do it in a room. Sorry, I'm trying to get it up here. So you have to make sure that you do it in a room that has a phone. Or, now we're in times where you have your cell phone. So what you do from here is you call a cab. If you succeed, there will be a black cab outside your house. You go outside and you go inside the cab and you lock the door. And then you go to sleep. If you wake up, you check your watch and it's 3:30 a.m., then you're gonna fall asleep. You're gonna feel like you're falling asleep for a second time. You wake up a second time, you're gonna find yourself down a highway, and the driver is gonna be a hooded man. So apparently people claim that passengers will get in the cab next to you and you're not supposed to acknowledge them. At this point, if you want your ride to end, you have to whisper into the hooded man's ear and say you've reached your destination. And then you will fall asleep and wake up in your house again. So then when you wake up, you are going to dial a number and say thank you for the ride. And after this, you're supposed to do another cleansing ritual. So people have said that you can go ahead and continue the ride because the world becomes more weird. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and read the instructions to the hooded man. It seems a little bit unclear, kind of like the elevator game, so I'm gonna go ahead and read the instructions. So it says, prior to beginning, perform a cleansing ritual in the location in which you plan to perform the hooded man. Burning a sage smudge stick and spreading salt or ash before the front door are recommended. Number 2, shut all the doors, close all the windows, and draw all the curtains. Number 3, turn off all the lights as well as all electronic devices. Set the 2 black cords as well as the matches or lighter near the phone. So real quick, I want to say that it does say you're gonna need a telephone, and if you have access to an old-fashioned rotary phone, it suggests that you use that instead of a cell phone because it will provide a greater effect. A modern touch phone will work, although it is recommended that it be off a corded variety. Cordless or cellular phones may present some difficulties and is not recommended. So I just want to savor that real quick. Number 4, it says empty your pockets of any power or protection items, but keep the watch on your person. Calling the cab. Number 1, begin at night. Sit down before the telephone and count to the number 13. Then, leaving the phone on the hook, dial the following number: 204-96-888. Number 3, tie 1 black cord securely to the telephone's handset. Lift the handset by holding the cord only. Then, dial the following number: 255-15-823. Count to 13 and set the handset down, but do not hang it back at the cradle. Speak the following words into the receiver: hello, I need a cab. Number 5, untie the first black cord from the handset and replace it with the second one. Make sure to secure it tightly. Burn the first cord immediately if possible. If it is not possible to do it immediately, burn it as soon as you have completed the ritual. Number 6, open the curtains and look out. If you have completed steps 1 through 5 correctly, you will see a black taxi cab parked outside. Exit the building, locking the door behind you, and climb into the cab's empty back seat. Number 7, lock the cab door and go to sleep. During the ride. 1, when you awaken, use your watch to check the time. Number 2, if your watch reads any time other than 3:30, exit the cab and re-enter your home within 2 minutes. Proceed to the ending, step 1. which is when you awaken, use your watch to check the time. Number 3, if your watch reads 3:30 a.m., go back to sleep. Number 4, when you awaken for the second time, you will find the cab to be driven on a highway with a man wearing a hood on the wheel. Do not do any of the following: panic, attempt to get out of the cab while it's moving, speak to any other passengers the cab may pick up. 5, when you are ready to end your ride, lean close to the hooded man's ear and say the following words, slowly and deliberately. I have reached my destination. You will fall asleep one last time. When you awaken, you will have returned to your starting location. The ending. Once you have returned to your starting location, seat yourself before the telephone once more and dial the following number: 200082. Use the black cord to lift the handset, set it down, and recite the following words into the receiver. Thank you for the ride. Number 3, untie the black cord from the handset, burn it, then bury the ashes of both it and the first cord in the ground. Scatter salt over the top of the burial site. Number 4, perform a cleansing ritual. So here's some additional notes. Sage, salt, and other items of protection may be used during the cleansing rituals performed before and after the hooded man ritual itself. However, these items should not be carried with you while you're performing the hooded man ritual. Should you feel threatened, followed, stalked, or otherwise unsafe at any point during the ritual, do not proceed. If you have not yet gotten in the back of the cab, do not enter it. If you have, perform step 5 of during the ride, which is when you are ready to end the ride, lean close to the hooded man's ear and say the following words: I have reached my destination. Panicking, attempting to exit the moving vehicle or speaking to other passengers may result in dire or fatal consequences. Do not, under any circumstances, perform those actions. Concerning the length of the cab ride, you may allow the cab ride to continue as long as you desire. However, it should be noted that the longer the ride, the more difficult it is to emerge from the landscapes through which the cab passes. Should you wish to return to the same world you left, it is recommended that you do not allow the cab ride to go on for undue amounts of time. It is unknown what happens when the cab stops. If you are feeling adventurous, you may attempt to find out. But don't count on being able to return home once you're there. So that sounds a lot like the elevator game. Let me finish my makeup because I talked a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and add pink on the bottom real quick. And now I'm gonna blend it out real quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this blue liner from LA Girl. Okay, so this next one is hide and seek alone. This one is also kind of creepy. I have no idea what these kids were playing, but I was not playing these type of games. That is really scary. So in hide and seek alone, what you do is you get a doll and you take out all the stuffing. So I'm assuming it has to be a stuffed doll. You take out all the stuffing and then you fill it up with white rice. And you put either your fingernails or your hair inside with the rice. I mean, that alone tells you that you're summoning some type of spirit or something. So anyway, after you fill it up, you stitch it back up with red thread, and then you wrap the red thread around the doll. So then you name the doll, and then you put it inside the bathtub full of water or a basket full of water. So after you've done that, you go around your house and you turn off all the light. So then what you do is you fill up your mouth with salt water, and then you go back to where you left the doll. And if it's not there, you have to go look for it until you find it. Put the salt water on the doll and then burn it. So after this, you hide around your house and then you just wait, I guess, for the doll to look for you. I'm just gonna finish off my eyelashes real quick. Okay, so I read off the instructions and I put my eyelashes on, and I just realized that I was not recording. So I have my eyelashes on, my little wispies. So as they are drying, I'm gonna go ahead and read off the instructions again. Number 1, using a sharp edge, cut open the doll. Remove the stuffing. Number 2, replace the stuffing with dry uncooked rice. Clip off a piece of your fingernail and place it inside the doll with the rice. Number 3, using the needle and red thread, stitch the doll closed without snipping the thread. Take the remaining length, wrap it around the doll, and tie off the ends. Number 4, fill the bathtub with water. Number 5, purify the room in which your hiding place is located with the incense or a fuda. I'm not really sure what a fuda is. Once it has been purified, set up the television in the same room. Place the cup of salt water and the sharp edge inside the hiding place. Number 6, name the doll. The main event. Begin precisely at 3 a.m. Repeat the following phrase to the doll 3 times, filling in your own name where appropriate. Your name is the first it. Number 2, go to the bathroom, submerge the doll in the bathtub and leave it there. Number 3, turn off all the lights in your house. Number 4, go to your hiding place and switch on the television. Close your eyes and count to 10. Number 5, when you have finished counting, open your eyes, retrieve your sharp edge, and return to the bathroom. Number 6, remove the doll from the bathtub and say the following phrase to it, filling in the doll's name where appropriate. I have found you, the doll's name. Use your sharp edge to cut the thread binding the doll. Number 7, say the following phrase to the doll, filling in the doll's name where appropriate. You are next, it, and then the doll's name. Then return the doll to the bathtub. Number 8, quickly return to your hiding place. Remain as silent as possible. The ending. Number 1, take a large mouthful of salt water. Do not swallow it. Hold it in your mouth. Keep the cup containing the rest of the salt water in your hand. Number 2, emerge from your hiding place and begin looking for the doll. Note, the doll may not necessarily be in the bathroom where you left it. Number 3, when you find the doll, pour the remaining salt water in the cup over it. Expectorate or spit the salt water in your mouth over the doll as well. Repeat the following phrase to the doll 3 times, I win. Once the game has been completed, allow the doll to dry and then burn it and discard the remains. Now again, this game, it seems more like you are inviting a spirit into your home, so be cautioned. I would not play this game at all. I do not play any spirit games in my home. I do not allow any spirit to come in my home. If you are bold and you do play this game, please be careful. So here's some additional notes. The rice represents the doll's internal organs. Additionally, it serves as bait to attract spirits. Like I said, the red thread represents a blood vessel and seals whatever spirits you might have attracted inside the doll. Snipping the thread in the main event, step 6, releases the spirit. When naming your doll, do not give it your own name. It is also advisable to avoid giving it a name of anyone you know. Once the game has begun, do not do any of the following until it has been completed. Turn on the lights. Lock any doors, including the front and the back doors. Make any unnecessary noise. Leave your house. So these are things you're not supposed to be doing. It is not generally advisable to emerge from your hiding place in the ending. Step 2, without both holding the salt water in your mouth and carrying the cup with the remaining salt water in your hand. Should anything have found its way into your home during the course of the game, they will act as safeguards and protect you from any harm your visitor or visitors may attempt to inflict upon you. The purpose of the television is to alert you to the presence of these potential visitors. Should it begin to display abnormal behavior, do not, under any circumstances, leave your hiding place without the salt water. Do not allow the game to go on for longer than 2 hours. Once it has started, the game must be played through the completion. Do not attempt to abandon it part way through. To do so would result in disaster. And honestly, I wouldn't want to find out. And like I said, I would not play this game personally. I played the beginning one that I spoke about, but that's it. I mean, it seems a little bit harmless to me, but I would not play any spirit games because I do not mess with spirits. And now, of course, I'm gonna use hot pink because what is an 80s look without hot pink? Okay, and a little pink blush. I'm gonna be using LA colors, and this is Like Totally. And obviously that fits this whole scenario here. And I'm trying to use a lot because in the 80s they used a lot of blush. You know, now that I already told these scary games, they're literally just little scary games that kids play or have played in the past, and I am creeped out. I'm gonna add a little bit of sparkle in between. And I really like to add like a white shadow in the corner because it always makes your eyes pop. So you can literally do this with any eyeshadow look you do, and it makes it look so pretty. Put a little bit on my brow bone. So I want to add a little bit of purple to blend in the pink and the blue right here at the corner. I feel like it kind of brings the pink and the blue together. See? Okay, so that is the completed look. And maybe I'll do a high ponytail just to make it. Oh, should I do a side ponytail? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do a side ponytail because let's be 80s. So there is my 80s look and my makeup. So thank you for watching my video. If you like this type of content, go ahead and like my video. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please subscribe so you can watch more. Also, a little disclaimer, if you're gonna try to play any of these games mentioned, please be very careful. I don't recommend bringing any spirits into your home. I know that there's a lot of cleansing techniques or whatever, but I really don't believe it's that easy. I think they maybe become dormant for a little while, but I believe that they do stay. They probably just hide and don't come out until months later, because you always hear of stories of people getting haunted and you know, they do some cleansing and then months later it comes back. So I honestly don't feel like, you know, they really do ever go away. So just don't bring anything that you can't get rid of. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.